Hello everybody. Very glad to see you here. By the way, it's been a long time since we last met here. So my name is Shokhrukh and I'm here to talk about acting skills in a human life. When I say the word acting, people who listen to me always think of those who act in movies, but what I mean now isn't about the role of acting skills while shooting movies. What I mean now, it's about the role of acting abilities in a human life. And it means being flexible and adaptable to any kind of situations that occurs in your life. Before moving to the main part, let's ask a question. Who is an actor? Actor is a person who creates a living artistic image through his body, mind, voice, and motions and abilities. For example, he can play the role of a student, he can be the president, or he can play the role of the head of a company, and many other people. And it's obvious to all of us that most of the films of the world are taken based on real life events that happen to everybody. And actors are those who show through their actions how people behave themselves and how they act in such kind of situations that occurs in their lives. Being an actor or actor himself is also an art, because if necessary, they will have to change their employ in every 10 minutes. If you are prince in the first 10 minutes, you have to play the role of a beggar in the second 10 minutes. And most importantly, your actions should be convincing. And now we can move to more interesting part. So, people, we know that people experience many events happening throughout their lives. And that events may be liked or disliked by them depending on their circumstances. And I witnessed one thing many times, that if people's goals and dreams require actions they do not like, they can easily give up them. And the rest of their lives, they will live with regret because of not doing that actions. In order to better understand its essence, let's take the example of a person, of a realist boy who fell in love with a girl. We all know that in order to find the way to the girl's heart, a guy has to use sweet words, actions that the girl likes. But, and in short, that guy has to be or become romantic. But the most interesting thing is that it's far from a reality to hear romantic words, the words that attract a girl, from a realist boy, even if that words are far from the truth. Now, think for yourself. That young lady wants a boy to be romantic in short, but that boy turns out the opposite. What will happen? That young man loses the girl he loves forever. Why? No. Put your hands up who lost their loves. They're absent. So, why he lost? Because he couldn't temporarily use the actions that he didn't like in order to win the girl's heart. Beyond a realist boy, he couldn't play the role of a romantic boy. That's why he lost. We can see a lot of moments when acting ability helped too many people in their lives. We can see a lot of moments in sports also, when coaches or team captains became motivators for their teammates, which is in turn to perform another image beyond their responsibilities. And here we will face another question. How can we develop our acting skills that will help us in life? There are three methods that will help you to develop your acting skills. And the first one is watching the actions of actors you like through movies. People have such a quality that we call it imitation. And once my friend said to me that when we watch the actions of actors we like, we learn to be like them, we want to act like them. And he's also sitting here. Thanks very much, my friend, for that words. And I'm 100% sure that all the participants sitting here have used the actions or words of their favorite actors at least once in their lives. For example, there are fans of Yamachi Ocharola who want to act like him. There are fans of Thomas Shelby who want to behave like him, to be behaved like him. Or there are fans of Angelina Jolie who want to look like her. And many, many others. Or take another example, the humor words of the film, which is called Ivan Vasilievich changes his profession, are still used by many people in their lives. Salam Shokhrukh Khaytboyev, like this. So, and real power of imitation we can see in little children who want to act like cartoon characters. And I'm sure that people who have little children or grandchildren have seen it with their own eyes, because they see it. And this is the real power of imitation. This is the acting ability that's acquired by imitation. And the second method that will develop your acting abilities is reading a novel. Why? If the first factor was to master the actions of your favorite actor by imitating, then the second method, this is reading a novel, will help you to feel in the state of your interlocutor, of a person you're talking to. In order to be a real actor in life, it's not enough to do the actions that are required by the situation. In order to be a real actor in life, you have to feel in the state of your interlocutor. And only then you will know how to act, how to speak, and what words to use during the interaction. And this in itself opens a way for a kind of cooperation, let's say. And how reading a book can help a person to feel, to understand other people's feelings. The main factor is when we are reading a novel, we are always with the main heroes of the novel. Both in happy and unhappy moments, we're always with them. And unlike movies, books describe how main characters feel in each situation. And this in itself significantly increases your ability of understanding other people's feelings. And also one thing, while reading a novel, while reading a book, you will witness the events, happenings that you haven't yet encountered in your life. And if such kind of situation occurs in your life, you will know how to act because you're already familiar to that situation. And George Martin's words can confirm our understanding, a kind of understanding. He said, a man who reads a book will live thousands of lives before he dies, and a person who never reads will experience only once. And this can confirm our understanding, let's say. And the third method that will help to increase your acting ability is interacting with people. Why interacting? Because I think everybody knows the value of theory and practice. They are always, theory and practice always go hand in hand in every field. We equated above two methods with theory and this one with practice. In order to better understand, in a sense, the value of theory and practice, let's take an example of a guy who is learning a foreign language. He memorizes theoretical knowledge for several months, or if necessary, for several years. They are like word memorization, word pronunciation, grammar, and so on. But if only he doesn't put them into practice, there is a high possibility of losing the ability of speaking even the rules and words you've learned. Why? Because you didn't use them in practice. so as to increase your acting ability is also like this. Above two methods are theory because you get in it. You learn how to speak, you learn how to act and understand. But on the third stage, you will use it in practice. And if you use what you memorize in real life, in practice, that will become your immovable, lifelong ability. Because practice makes perfect. At the end of my speech, I would like to say one thing. We can compare actor or being an actor with water. Why? Because water and actor should be flexible, should adapt to any kind of situation. And water is also like this. Wherever water falls, it takes the shape of that thing. Now we can remember the words of Bruce Lee, who said, "Be shapeless, formless like water." Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a teapot, it becomes a tea. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. Now water can flow, or it can crash. So, if the situation, if your dreams require you to be romantic, but achieve your goal. If the situation requires you to be silent, but achieve your goal. If it requires you to be second important man in front of your opponent, be second important man, but achieve your goal. This is how winning is done. Thanks very much.